The sky above Ohio was clear and quiet on the night of August 15th, 1977. Stars twinkled gently across the darkness. Far below, in a grassy field near Ohio State University, sat the Big Ear Radio Telescope, a strange, flat, white structure stretching out like a giant ear, listening to the sounds of space. Inside the observatory building, Jerry Ehman, a 37-year-old astronomer, worked silently. He wasn't looking through a telescope like most imagine. Instead, he sat in front of a long machine printer, watching it spit out line after line of coded information. These were radio signals from outer space, picked up by Big Ear. Most of it was background noise, numbers, letters, and symbols that showed the hum of stars, galaxies, and deep space radiation. Jerry had seen thousands of pages like this. But then, something changed. As the machine clattered and whirred, Jerry's eyes caught a strange pattern. 6 EQUJ 5. He leaned closer, blinking in surprise. This code showed a huge spike in radio energy, something extremely rare. And it wasn't random. It looked structured, focused, artificial. His heart skipped a beat. The frequency was 1,420 megahertz, the hydrogen line. That specific number was important. Hydrogen is the most common element in the universe. Scientists had long believed that if aliens ever sent a signal, they would use that frequency. Simple, clear, and universal. Jerry grabbed a red pen. With a mix of shock and excitement, he circled the signal and wrote a single word beside it. Wow. He didn't know then that this one word would go down in history. The next morning, Jerry took the printout to his colleagues. The room buzzed with interest. They checked the equipment. It was working perfectly that night. The signal had lasted 72 seconds, the exact amount of time Big Ear could listen to a fixed point in the sky before Earth's rotation moved it on. The direction? The Sagittarius constellation, specifically near Chi Sagittarii, a group of 3 stars over 200 light-years away. It wasn't just strong, it was incredibly clean, like someone had beamed it directly at Earth. The team ran all the tests they could think of. It wasn't a plane, it wasn't a satellite, it wasn't a glitch. But strangely, it never happened again. Over the next few days, Jerry and the team re-aimed the telescope. They listened at the same time each night. Other observatories tried too. Some even recorded for weeks. Nothing. No signal. No repeat. Just silence. Was it a one-time broadcast? A brief message? Or just something passing by? The scientists were puzzled. Jerry couldn't stop thinking about it. It was like hearing a voice in a forest, just once, and never again. News of the signal eventually reached the public. A local reporter wrote a story. Alien message detected. Astronomer says, wow. Soon, newspapers across the U.S. picked up the story. Television stations interviewed Jerry. People were fascinated. The idea that an alien civilization might have sent a message just once caught the world's imagination. But Jerry remained calm and cautious. When reporters asked if he thought it was aliens, he always gave the same answer. It's interesting. It might be something important, but we don't have proof. For years, scientists tried to solve the mystery. Some said maybe it was a military signal bouncing off space junk. But no records matched the time and place. Others suggested it was a secret satellite, but no known satellite was in that area. A few believed it was a cosmic event, like a pulsar or a black hole flare. But those signals looked different. This one looked intentional. And there were those who believed the most exciting theory. It was a message from intelligent life. A civilization far away had sent a short, focused radio wave, and Earth caught it, just once. Years passed. The Big Ear telescope was eventually dismantled. New technology came, new scientists arrived, but no one ever forgot the wow signal. One evening, many years later, Jerry sat in his study, surrounded by books and old files. He opened a folder and gently pulled out the original printout. It was yellow with age, but the red circle and the word wow were still clear. He smiled quietly. Whatever it was, he whispered, it was real, and it made us listen. Even today, more than 40 years later, scientists are still searching the sky. SETI programs around the world continue to scan the hydrogen line. In 2012, a reply message was sent from Earth toward the same area in space, hoping that someone or something might hear it. But the wow signal never came again. It remains one of the greatest mysteries in the search for extraterrestrial life, a single whisper from the stars, followed by silence. No one knows who sent it, or what it meant, or if it will ever return. But one night, long ago, the sky spoke, and Earth heard. In the years that followed the discovery of the wow signal, many things changed, but one thing remained constant: the curiosity surrounding that single strange radio burst. As time went on, Jerry Ehman continued his work, but the signal lingered in his mind. He'd given countless interviews, attended conferences, and written papers about the signal. Yet, despite all his explanations and calculations, the one burning question remained. What was it? Jerry often found himself awake late at night, staring at the stars outside his window. He remembered how, that first night, his hand trembled slightly as he circled the code with his pen. The excitement was so real. He'd hoped it was the beginning of something groundbreaking, something that would forever change humanity's understanding of the universe. But now, it felt like a dream lost to time. The search didn't stop, though. New telescopes were built, and advanced techniques were developed to listen deeper into the sky. Yet each time they aimed their instruments at the same coordinates, they heard only silence. One evening, while visiting a new observatory in California, Jerry had a conversation with a young astronomer, Dr. Sarah Ramirez, who had grown up reading about the wow signal. She was fascinated by the story. Sarah, maybe we're looking for the wrong kind of signal. We assume it's a transmission. What if it's something different? Something not meant for us to hear right away? Jerry's eyes widened as he thought about her words. What if it wasn't a direct message, but rather a cosmic event? Something that could only be understood much later. Jerry's conversation with Dr. Ramirez stuck with him. He returned to Ohio to his old study and began digging deeper into the history of the signal. He scoured books, papers, and old field notes from the time of the discovery. As he turned through pages of old records, one thought kept repeating in his mind. Was there something we missed? He thought back to the initial days following the signal's discovery. The excitement, the possibility of contact with an alien civilization. But what if the signal wasn't a simple broadcast at all? What if it was part of a larger pattern, one that we hadn't been able to identify yet? The more Jerry read, the more he became convinced that the wow signal was just the beginning of something bigger. He reached out to SETI, and they were still conducting ongoing research into the mysterious signal. New technologies were being developed to scan other parts of the spectrum, and many scientists thought there might be more signals waiting to be discovered, hidden in plain sight. Jerry, to himself, we were too focused on the first burst. Maybe the universe is sending us messages, and we're just not listening in the right way. That night, Jerry sent an email to SETI proposing a new search strategy. Maybe it was time to think beyond simple radio signals and focus on other wavelengths or patterns in space, something that could be a more complex form of communication. He didn't know if they would listen, but it felt like the right step. It was a quiet Thursday afternoon in 2025, almost 50 years since the WOW signal had been first detected. Technology had advanced exponentially in those decades, and SETI's search had become even more expansive and precise. More powerful telescopes, including the James Webb Space Telescope, now scanned the heavens, looking for the faintest whispers from space. Then, one evening, something strange happened. In the archives of SETI, a young researcher, Dr. Liam Harris, discovered a signal in the data stream. It was faint and irregular, but it was undeniably similar to the WOW signal. Dr. Harris quickly alerted his colleagues. They started comparing the new signal with the data from the original 1977 WOW signal. While it wasn't an exact match, the similarities were too striking to ignore. The same frequency, the same sharp intensity, but this time the signal lasted longer, almost 5 minutes. Was it the return of the WOW signal? Dr. Harris, excited. It's like the signal's echoing back to us. We need to confirm it before anyone gets too excited, but this could be it. The SETI team immediately launched a full investigation. This time they had more sensitive equipment and better techniques. They aimed their telescopes in the same direction, at the same spot in the sky where the original WOW signal had been detected. They waited. The data kept coming in, but there were no new signals. The team grew anxious. Was the signal a glitch, or was it really a cosmic message? Days turned into weeks, and still nothing came. The signal had vanished again, just as quickly as it had appeared. But the discovery had reignited the excitement and curiosity about the WOW signal. Had it been a fluke, or were they on the verge of discovering something incredible? The search for the WOW signal, and for any answers to its true meaning, continued. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.